Hey, thanks for watching the Drawing for Adults class. This class is offered as a partnership between the Ann Arbor District Library and the Ann Arbor Art Center. Today we're going to be drawing these winter blues portraits. I want you guys to really think about how you're feeling these days. It's all super snowy and cold outside, and we are just stuck inside behind closed doors here. And so I am creating my response to how I've been feeling just being stuck at home and ready to kind of get outside and have some nice warmer days ahead, hopefully. So I want you to think more about that. I guess I want you to think about how you're feeling, and maybe that's a portrait of you and more representational, like what I'm doing here, or maybe it's something more abstract, maybe it's something more colorful, or maybe it's not colorful, right? This is going to be just a regular graphite pencil drawing here that I'm working on, and again, it's more about mood here. It's about how you're feeling, and I want you to consider that. I want you to consider how you are feeling these days, and then what that would look like for you to represent that in a work of art. Again, that might not mean that it's something representational, but maybe it does, right? This is for you to decide. Sometimes when I'm trying to think about what to make, I'll start just by actually making a list. I know I'm an artist, maybe I should do a bunch of doodles and draw a bunch of pictures, but I think it's really helpful to use my words and to write the words that I'm feeling, and then from there I can think about how I would represent that. If I'm feeling kind of down or lonely, disconnected, whatever, then what would that look like? In this case, that's kind of the the feelings that I'm representing here. So I've drawn myself with, kind of slumped shoulders, head down, eyes closed, hair is kind of a mess, wearing an old shirt, just that kind of, just that way of trying to sort of represent, I guess, how I'm feeling. Like, what does that look like if I'm sad? Kind of, having that body language to represent that with my head leaning down. It doesn't really look like I'm walking around with a bunch of confidence, whatever. I'm keeping it black and white. I'm not adding any color to this, and I think that's also on purpose. I feel like in the winter everything does seem very black and white. We've got the bare, dark trees with white, bright snow, and just not a lot of color. And so I felt like that was very intentional in me choosing this color palette, or lack thereof color palette, I suppose. And so I'm just keeping everything very monochromatic. So when you're thinking about what this season looks like for you, and of course not everyone feel like, some people I know love the winter and just the coziness, and that is absolutely a vibe I get often. But I wanted to also just represent often a feeling that I think isn't maybe always the norm. It feels sort of like, no, that's not acceptable, or this is something that I should keep at just to myself. But I think it's actually really great to use art as a way to represent how you're feeling. And so I encourage you to be honest with yourself, let your paper be, let just be your outlet, I guess, for some time. And like I said, it does not have to be representational like this. Does not have to even, definitely does not have to be a figure, a person. You can think more about the space. I'm actually going to draw a little bit of a background here anyway. But you can definitely draw something more abstract, more loose, whatever you're really feeling here. So I am going to draw a door back behind me, and I'm just keeping it somewhat realistic here. Again, I'm letting some of my lines be pretty loose. You can see it's not, it's not super detailed, but it's also not abstract either by any means. And if you're interested more about portraiture, we've done several videos on drawing portraiture, but feel free to, go back to the beginning of the video when I started this and really slow it down. You can see the way that I drew in that head shape and the neck and the shoulders and all of that. And you can kind of pause it and go step by step like that. So you can see the way that I've drawn in this door behind me and a little bit of a scene of, you know, what I see outside of my house, like my neighbor's houses. I've also done some reflections there in the windows. A few little details here for the locks. But I want you to, use your sketchbook, use your paper, whatever you have, use it as kind of like a journal. Use it as a way to reflect, as a way to check in with yourself. It's important to do. If you haven't considered journaling or haven't done that, I would encourage you to try that as well. But sometimes doing this kind of visual journal can actually be really, I don't know, fun. I think it's a different way of just checking in with yourself and recording what's going on, and but in a more visual way. So again, like I said before, feel free to go back and pause the video at the beginning as I was drawing this profile portrait so that you're able to get more details. But otherwise, I hope that you have enjoyed the video and that you will take some time to kind of do some self-reflection and draw how you're feeling these days.